This is an intentional act of terrorism.
New tonight at 10, one person is dead and several more are hurt after a bomb inside of a car was detonated outside of a fertility clinic. The FBI confirming tonight it was an act of terrorism. We'll have more from that scene in California in just a minute. Thank you for joining us for the news at 10. I'm Emily Moss. First tonight here locally, Waterloo police are investigating after multiple shootings in the city this weekend. The first was on Allen Street around 6 o'clock on Friday. This is video from that scene today. A parked car was damaged, but nobody was hurt. A 16-year-old was arrested for having a gun and intimidation with a weapon. Another shooting was reported early this morning around 125 on Sumner Street. Again, nobody was hurt. However, one bullet managed to pierce through a gas stove inside of a home. Waterloo Fire Rescue checked for any associated leaks. Waterloo police are investigating both shootings and are asking anyone with information to report it to the department. A Cedar Falls woman has died after a crash in Floyd County last night. Iowa State Patrol reports it happened just after 8 o'clock on Highway 14 near Marble Rock. A box truck driven by Brittany Huffman of Cedar Falls was traveling west on CRB 60 when officers say she did not stop and struck a southbound Jeep. Both vehicles entered the ditch. Brittany was thrown from the truck and died on scene. The driver of the Jeep had minor injuries and is expected to be okay. Iowa State Patrol reports that Brittany was not wearing a seatbelt. Now back to Palm Springs. The FBI is investigating a car that exploded outside of a fertility clinic, calling it tonight an act of terrorism. One person died and several more are hurt. The business offers fertility treatments such as in vitro fertilization and egg freezing among its services. Today, the business confirmed on social media the lab was not damaged, meaning that no eggs or embryos were lost. A hospital and some businesses across the street from the fertility clinic had windows blown out from the explosion. The police chief says the city will rise in the wake of the tragedy.
Terrorism came knocking on the door of Palm Springs. We survived. And I can tell you that this city will rise and be more effective as a beacon of hope than before.
Investigators have not determined a cause, but they do say it's an isolated incident. The FBI says they do have a person of interest, but they have not released any information about them to the public. And just coming in the last hour tonight, around 20 people are hurt after a Mexican sailboat there crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. According to the Mexican Navy, it happened during a sailing maneuver on a training cruise. Police say that at least 3 people are believed to have suffered serious injuries. All lanes on the bridge have been closed in both directions. New tonight, some sad news from KWWL. Former anchor Tom Peterson has passed away at the age of 83. Peterson anchored the evening news at KWWL for nearly 11 years, leaving in 1979. Peterson led the weekday evening newscasts alongside sports director Michael Connor and Jim Ganal, as well as Ron Steele. Peterson is survived by his wife, son, and stepdaughter, as well as 2 grandchildren. KWWL wishes his family peace and gives our condolences. Today in Waterloo, a Quilts of Valor ceremony was held honoring veterans of the United States military. KWWL reporter David Warrington has more from today's emotional ceremony.
People are constantly looking for ways to honor veterans of the U.S. military. Today, 14 veterans received their Quilt of Valor, a handmade quilt to say thank you to those who have served. Mike Hudson is the post commander for American Legion Post 138 in Waterloo, and he's overseen plenty of these ceremonies. He's also a Vietnam War veteran, and today he received his quilt.
It means a lot. I mean, I've seen other people get it, and a lot of people get pretty teared up and emotional and stuff. And it's hard to control your emotions at times like this sometimes. No, this is very heartwarming.
Among the veterans was also Dennis Summer, who served in the 1950s and through his service met many notable people.
I met a lot of people, starting with the President of the United States, Dwight Eisenhower, escorted Queen Elizabeth when she was here for the celebration of Jamestown's anniversary, the founding of Jamestown.
This was another deeply important day in his incredible life.
I've done a lot of things, but this was very, very impressive. And I have to admit, I did shed a tear.
Hudson says the American Legion works hard to ensure that veterans are honored in the way they deserve, with the quilt being yet another example.
that is our whole premise, is to help veterans out in any way we can, money-wise, emotionally wise, anyway. And the ladies down here that are doing this for Quilts of Valor do a tremendous job. I just can't say enough about it.
A much-deserved thank you for those who sacrificed to serve the country they love. In Waterloo, David Warrington, News 7 KWWL.
At the American Legion, the Quilts of Valor has grown quickly over the years, and they're always looking for more people to help them make the quilts.